All right, what do you want to do for an opening? I mean, where do you want to start?
Wait, we gotta do an opening?
Yeah, I mean, I. You know what? Just cue the music. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns, your source for all pro wrestling news, rumors, and predictions from the 01 podcast group. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim, and that was a long intro.
Yeah, it was a good long intro. I didn't stumble. I didn't have any issues with, losing my words. None of that stuff.
Oh, no, I was just talking about that was a very long intro.
Well,
I hated it. Don't do it again.
Okay, I'll try not to next time. Anyway, yeah, this week, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing our predictions for NXT War Games and Survivor Series. Yeah, and we because there's been changes on Survivor Series, we got to talk about what happened on Raw and SmackDown this week.
Which one you want to start with? I think we should start with SmackDown.
SmackDown, where
The,
poor AJ Styles' testicles got hit again.
yeah.
I mean, this time it did totally help someone win the championship. But,
Oh, no.
okay, what writer has it in for AJ Styles in the back right now? Why?
No. Or who has it in the back for just loving to do low blows to guys' junk?
I have no idea. And quite honestly, I mean, what is 2018, the year that AJ Styles loses by nutshot? I mean, it happens. You go back and you see trends where, a high-profile person within wrestling loses a very specific way for a year or for a specific run of theirs. And I'm just like, is that what they decided to do with AJ this year? And he was just like, you know what? Let's run with it. That sounds awesome. The only way people can beat me is by hitting me in the nuts.
You know who probably has it out for him or loves that angle?
Who?
Vince.
Oh, of course. Because it's much like, little people, it's comedy for him. He thinks it's funny.
Let's be honest. It is funny.
I mean, to a point. I mean, with Nakamura, it actually, we felt bad for him. I was like, oh, how is he ever going to have another kid?
Oh, I know.
And then there was the Joe storyline, and it was like, oh, this is how he gets another kid.
Yeah.
Joe takes over for him instead.
Wow. All right. So let's actually break it down. So, as what we knew was Daniel's supposed to be captain of the SmackDown men's team.
Right.
And then in the show opener, we got Brian coming out and telling AJ not to say his name or he's going to deck him in his face. And AJ says his name again, leads to a brawl. More brawls backstage. Shane makes a title match later in the show.
Yeah.
And then we get a surprise to everyone. Daniel Bryan wins the WWE Championship.
I mean,
turning heel.
it's one of the few times that you see that, anything could happen on a WWE show. And it's it's a pleasant surprise to see stuff like this instead of, oh, that was your twist for today's show. It's so mundane and that doesn't even make sense.
One thing I do like for AJ, this kind of is a full circle for AJ because he won the WWE Championship on a SmackDown show.
Yes.
And then he lost it on SmackDown.
I know.
So it was a great way to kind of encapsulate his last year as champion. And the fact that he had over a year as champion.
That's awesome all on its own.
Yeah. Because years ago, you'd be like, oh no, AJ will never make it to WWE. Oh, he made it to WWE. They'll never put him the championship on him. And they've done it twice now. And
Twice.
his last run was a year.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad that he's reached that point where even the WWE is looking at him going, "No, you are the man, and we're going to put the belt on you, and we're going to make you the face of SmackDown."
They actually have coming after Survivor Series goes off the air.
Yeah.
They're gonna do one. They're doing a 365 on AJ.
Oh, nice.
Of his last year.
Oh,
I
want
that. So.
Yeah, I'm going to be checking that out. Probably on Monday afternoon instead of Sunday night because, once again, I don't know how I'm going to get through the entire show.
Yeah.
I probably won't.
Adam, what do you think of this sudden change to the card again? Like, we got this same thing happened last year with all of a sudden, Mahal and Brock not going to be a good match. We'll throw AJ in there. We'll put the belt on him.
I like the idea of Bryan versus Brock because it's a different match than what we've seen Brock Lesnar in, and having Bryan versus the big man again. I mean, it brings back memories of him versus Triple H, him versus Batista. It shows that Bryan's able to compete on these, on this main event, in Vince McMahon's eyes, the big stage with the big boys, and it's like. No, he's always been able to perform on there. It's just, once again, the WWE, there was a great thing that was going on when, you had Shawn and Owen Hart, Bret Hart as champions because you had, it was smaller guys that had to perform better and win over the crowd and not just be a spectacle. And then we went away from that again.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that we see that come back. Because, you look at most of the hires in NXT, the new guys coming up, no one's a big dude.
No.
They're not bodybuilder size. They're an average guy, but very athletic.
Their big stable in NXT is a bunch of small guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are tall.
But they're, what?
They're not
225, 230?
Yeah, they're not jacked.
No.
And they're not ripped either. They're in good shape, but they're not like Triple H at his
Batista. John Cena.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they handle Undisputed Era when they get called up. Quick side note.
Okay, quick one.
We may or may not still be on no official call-ups from NXT because Nikki Cross showed up not this past week but the week before.
Yeah.
On SmackDown. But I was talking to people here at the NXT live show recruitment meeting.
Yeah.
And one of the guys saying, we don't actually know if it's an official call-up because she has a storyline still going on in NXT, and it may have just been a one-off.
Oh, that's... So maybe we're still at the point where there's no official people being called up, but they're being used.
Yeah, it could have just been like one of those one things that's like let's do something different. Let's bring her in. And then we can, if we want to bring her back up, if we're going to actually call her up, we'll do it once her storyline.
Isn't that kind of what they did with Kevin Owens? When he came up, he was still NXT champion?
Yeah. Because he came up to face John Cena, and he was NXT champion. He quickly wrapped up his storyline with Finn Balor, but it didn't officially wrap up until SummerSlam TakeOver.
Yeah.
But he lost the belt in July.
Yeah. So you'll probably see Cross back in Orlando.
Yep.
For some more NXT tapings, and then she'll officially come up. And most likely with the time frame that we're at now, that'll be sometime, Royal Rumble, maybe after.
I think a good time to call her up to make it official if they're going to call her up anytime soon, would be Royal Rumble. Have her be in the Women's Royal
Right.
Rumble. Do well in the Rumble. Obviously, she's not going to win it. But
No,
have
no,
her do
no.
well in it. And then she's officially called up.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so
All
let's
right.
move on to what happened on Raw with Becky.
Oh my God!
The
I mean, first
man.
of all, if you've seen the GIF of her at the end of Raw, face all bloody, arms out, Tommy Dreamer style, being like, "Nah, I'm still standing tall."
Yeah. Oh, you know what the best part? First off, before we even cover that, I just have to say, I love her new moniker that she's going by. The
Man?
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's been calling herself that on social media, which, you can call yourself pretty much on anything on social media to a point, but that doesn't mean
Right.
they're going to use it on air, and they're actually using it on air.
I know, it's so awesome. Oh, I
Oh, yeah.
cannot she has such a Twitter presence right now. Like, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
half of what got her over is her Twitter reactions and Twitter interactions with other people. Like
Especially
when
with Seth Rollins.
when Rhonda started following her and she tweeted back and she was just like, "No, she tried."
Yeah.
Referencing
yeah.
Evolution, and it was just like, "Oh my God, that's brilliant."
Oh no! It's once they allowed her to do the bad heel turn, which I still think I'm still fine if she was a heel. But once they allowed her to be that more aggressive, it allowed her to be what she could do on social media as well. Like she could actually start doing this stuff versus what the character she was before. She couldn't. So yeah, her response is like you can just see how good of a promo she is.
She's been brilliant. She has been like this build for her. Let's get into actually why she's not going to be on Survivor Series.
Yeah. Well, the one I actually just about to build to that because
Okay.
one of the things that they've been going back and forth between Ronda and Becky was how Becky's gonna snatch her arm and get her
Yep.
into this armor, and Ronda's like, try it. And then in the closing angle of Raw, we cut to the back and see Becky has Ronda in this armor and has
Yeah.
locked in, dead on. And then we have the invasion angle. Becky comes out, gets involved in that. Then, unsurmoutably, she takes a punch to the face, which we'll cover in a second.
Oh, yeah, that punch, that she went down.
Yeah. So she gets involved there, and then we get this exchange here where SmackDown's kind of winning. Ronda comes back out, kind of clears the ring a little bit, but Becky gets back in with a chair and just unloads on her to a babyface pop against Ronda Rousey,
Yeah.
who was considered to be the hugest babyface on Raw. So, and then
I know.
And then they exit, and she's in the ring, up in the crowds, full Tommy Dreamer, and you see the
Yeah.
blood and
Oh, that moment, that truly
Yep.
is her Stone Cold moment.
yeah. But here's the
That
thing,
was, yeah,
though. On the submission match, we need the face of blood for
yeah,
Austin.
him versus
Yeah, that was her
him
moment.
versus Brett.
Yep, that was her moment. And what I like about this is that WWE, they didn't shy away from her with the blood on
Nope.
it. They didn't try to clean it up off of her because it wasn't overdone.
No,
if
it
she
just
was-
it looked like she got her nose bloodied,
Yeah,
and
if
like
it was like
due to wiping it, it smudged a
Yeah.
little bit extra, but it
if
didn't look like
if she was like gushing blood, then
Yeah.
yes, absolutely you want to take care of that. But like, yeah, she got hit, she had some blood and got on her face, but it's not overdone. It added to the storyline. It was not planned. So,
No.
So any advertisers who don't like blood can't really complain because it was an accident. Let's get into the accident.
Like, okay, so I still have an issue. Like, I have no problem with the weekly show being PG. I have
Yep.
no problem with that. It's your pay-per-views. It's your network-specific shows. I feel like that should be where it's like, no, we're PG-13 here.
Mm-hmm.
We get to show this stuff because you have to go and buy this, like in one way or another.
Well, because they have sponsors who, not all the pay-per-views, but they have sponsors like Snickers for WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and all that. They have to still keep that image because we saw what happened last year, when Snickers got word of the whole Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah. Well, okay, but that makes sense.
That was a good thing.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
was a good thing, though. Yeah, which was again why we even said that on the show back then when we found out that it was a good thing they changed it because Snickers pushed that. But when you want to do a PG-13, you gotta keep in mind with this your audience, your advertiser who's sponsoring it. If you have an outside source like Snickers, but when you have like 2K. W2K19 is you don't have to be clear with that because they should know that you're
you can play matches that are not ever going to be on TV in the game. You're like, they're not going to allow this dude to do a 15-foot fall off from this thing, but in the game you can.
Yeah. So like you said, I agree pay-per-view should be PG-13, but just let your sponsor know we're going to be PG-13, and more importantly, if you're going to be doing something a little bit more in the heavy, towards the almost mature level, which you don't do often, only on occasion, that they may have an issue with, you let them know ahead of time, and let them know that we know this is getting closer to that uncomfortable spot. We're doing it in a way that it's not going to be as bad as us telling you, like how we're describing it. We haven't planned. We're just letting you know, so if you get word, you're not like, what's going on? Have that communication, and it can happen for that. But so let's get into the actual punch. Who did it?
Nia Jax. Nia Jax threw a right hook that just full on connected.
Okay, here's how you know Becky Lynch is absolutely 100% Irish. She took that hard punch, and she was still up. She got back up and still continued. And you didn't see any signs of the effects that you on someone.
Well, I mean, also you've got adrenaline rushing at that moment.
Yes,
so
obviously, but at the same time, like we all know, Irish are known for being able to take a beating. It's a stereotype.
Yes.
Not every Irish person, but it is still they're tougher than most people. But at the same time, Nia is a big girl and she can put a lot of power behind that.
Oh yeah.
And as we see, it broke Becky's nose, severely concussed from that one hit.
I believe also her cheekbone is cracked or broken as well.
The only things I've heard was her nose was broken, instant concussion. They used the face thing as a storyline.
On air they described it as she has a broken face.
Yeah. But everything I've seen online, it's only her nose that's broken. And that's not keeping her from wrestling. It's the massively concussed.
Yeah.
Not massive, but severe concussion that she got. So, but another person, a big star again, who is now injured thanks to Nia.
Mm-hmm.
There is backstage heat on Nia because of this. And, dude, she needs to get released or she needs to go back to developmental for another year if you're going to keep her.
I feel the same way.
Because It's not like she's injured. And here's the thing: is she injured someone while she was in training down there? She concussed Dana Brooke
Yeah.
when she was training, and for the longest time, Dana Brooke couldn't even train because of it. So it's like,
Yeah, there was that. She's almost dropped Charlotte Flair on her head twice now. So she's cousin of The Rock or not. She needs to get better and go back and learn some more.
oh, by far, and she concussed Selena Vega from
Yep.
when she threw her out of the Battle Royal at Evolution. She concussed Alexa Bliss when she dropped her belt. Like, Alexa Bliss has gotten concussed so bad right now.
Yeah.
There's rumors
I
that
know.
the WWE doesn't want to clear her because they're afraid she's going to.
Yes.
Do you hear that?
I can barely hear something in the background.
It's my Kindle because I kept saying Alexa.
Oh, that's
And he's still
awesome.
answering my questions. That's hilarious.
All right. Anyway, keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, so Bliss is concussed. They won't clear her because they're afraid she may now be concussion prone right now.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
so
that
she may be
sucks.
out. And it started with Nia. Dude, she needs to be released or she needs to go back to training because you cannot risk your top stars, especially even though we've talked about it. WWE doesn't really care about the women's division. It's just more about hype and making themselves look like they're progressive.
Yes.
But you can't take a risk of having a star injuring your top talent like Becky.
Right.
So, oh my God, I will say this. Well, it sucks what happened to Becky.
Yes.
This actually may
yes, it does
be a silver lining overall.
Okay, what's
Because the rumor we've been talking about for a while now, since WrestleMania, was the main event was going to be Ronda defending going for the title against Charlotte.
Right.
Main event the show. And as of a few weeks ago, that was still the plan. We're getting Charlotte and Ronda on Survivor Series as Becky's replacement.
Guys,
Okay.
I'll take it. It's
Which
awesome.
is great. Yep. Which is a big match. So the rumor now is the big plan is they're going to save Becky and Ronda for WrestleMania 35 in the main event. And they're actually not saying possibly the main event. They're throwing around the main event, which is because Reigns isn't around to take it.
Nope.
So you'd use
Oh
your
my
next
God, I
big
didn't
star.
even realize that. This is going to be the first year that Roman Reigns doesn't main event WrestleMania.
Yep. And it could be finally the first year we have the women in the main event.
Oh, that would
And
be brilliant.
Who better to do it than your top ticket seller, Ronda, and the top woman, Becky Lynch, main eventing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So while it sucks that Becky's injured, it actually may work out better for Becky in the long run to go to WrestleMania and be the part of the match that main events the show in a historic fashion.
At that point, the crowd just needs to cheer Stone Cold Becky Lynch over and over again.
No, that and the man Becky Lynch over
Yes.
and over again.
The man, Stone Cold Becky Lynch. The man, Stone Cold Becky Lynch. The man, Stone Cold Becky Lynch. It's a little bit extra to cheer for. You know, there's a lot of words involved, but it's worth it.
But here's the thing: if you go back to when we had the first big match of like Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha for the women's title, when they made the women's title no longer the Divas Championship a few years ago. Out of those three women, who was the most likely to never really have a match, that kind of important match on WrestleMania? Becky.
At that point, it was Becky.
Yeah. When you brought up Bailey, it only pushed Becky further down. But now
Right.
we're in a time frame where Becky has basically thrown off the other women of the four horsewomen of WWE, and is standing on her own in the spotlight that she always deserved and the fans always knew. And it's just like, wow, like, this is awesome.
Yeah. All right. So yes, Becky Lynch was injured and no longer able to participate in her Survivor Series match. So Charlotte Flair is taking over the position instead.
Yes. Side note, there was a rumor going around when Becky was still going to be wrestling the match
Yes.
that this actually might have been the spot where Ronda actually gets her first loss.
Yeah, I did hear about that
interference. To protect Ronda, but still give her first loss. I could still see them do that here with Becky coming out, not getting physically involved, but kind of as a distraction, maybe
standing up on the ramp.
Yeah, I hope they don't, because I want Becky to be the one to defeat Ronda for the first time.
Yes.
And honestly, I think it's a bad way to. It will hurt Ronda too much, even if it was Becky or if it was Charlotte. When she has her first real challenge, she loses.
Yeah, no, personally, I'd wait until WrestleMania.
Yeah. We'll get more into
Becky
those
versus
when we get to
Ronda.
predictions.
Okay.
So.
All right. So.
Let's get into the predictions.
You want to get on to predictions? Yeah, let's do some
I don't got anything
predictions.
else.
All right, first up, we got NXT War Games, baby.
War Games 2.
Yes, War Games 2, the sequel. War Gaming Harder. War Games Harder. Yeah, there it is.
And this is going to be more of a traditional War Games when we get to the actual War Game match, but we'll talk about it in a second.
Yes. Let's just start right at the top of the list and work our way down. All right, so we got the first... on Wikipedia, the first match on the card, or on the list, is Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship. Who do you got, Tim?
I'm going with the champ. I got the champ.
Ciampa's retaining?
Yes. Not to admit that Dream is over with the fans.
I know.
I was watching, I didn't watch it, but I read online that they, one of the live events this week, he got involved at the end of the match where Tommaso was defending against Black, and he interfered. He came out at the end to make the save for Black, took down Ciampa, raised the belt, and the fans were just like off the charts.
Oh, my God.
So the fans want him, but it's not Dream's time to win it.
No. But it's soon. It's soon.
Yeah. He's still green in the certain areas, like in wrestling, that he still needs to get there. Charisma, character, he's dead on with those. We don't have to worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just parts that, like, he needs to get a little bit better in. And I also think when it's your first time and you win a championship, it doesn't really feel like you earned it because you never really challenged for it before. Only when you have someone over the top that you go, nope, give it to him because it's going to work. Like an Austin.
Yes.
Or The Rock. Stuff like that.
Yep.
So, but like, I still want to see Dream capture the North American Championship before he's NXT champion.
Okay.
And I think that'd be great. And if you really want to do him right, you get him the tag titles as well, and make him the first ever Grand Slam NXT champion.
Oh. That. Yeah. Yeah, I like your idea, man. I mean, at the same time,
who are you picking?
I have the baddest man in NXT. I'm choosing Ciampa.
Okay, so we're agreeing on that one.
Yes, because I mean, Ciampa will just after what happened between him and Black with Dream interfering, he's just going to come out to hurt Dream. Like, that's all it's going to be. It's just like, no, I'm not really here to win. I'm going to hurt you. That's all I care about now. If I win, I win. Okay, cool. If you win, you're still going to get hurt.
Yep. Next match is Aleister Black versus Johnny Gangaro. And I'm going with Black on this one. And my reasoning behind this is because with Johnny is a heel now, but thinking he's a hero, I have a feeling they should use this as a way to have him continue his losing streak at takeovers when he's going too dark. You use the takeover at Royal Rumble to start to realize, no, he's wrong. And then you build the redemption to when he takes the NXT Championship from Ciampa at WrestleMania. Because like right now his storyline is he has to be the one to take it off of him. But you build the story to the point where like, no, I can't be the one. And refuses to be the one. So Black gets the title shot at Royal Rumble TakeOver.
Okay.
You give someone else a title shot in between WrestleMania and that TakeOver. And you basically get to the point where it's like, no, Johnny is the only one who possibly could take the belt from him. And he's reluctant, and he goes into it saying, okay, I'll take the match, but I'm reluctant to do this.
Okay.
And maybe even at that takeover is when we get the triple threat match between Black, Aleister Black, Gangaro, and Ciampa.
I like that.
Just so we don't get another there. But I do think Johnny Gangaro is going to be the next one, and I think having a redemption storyline, this turn into a dark and into a redemption, is going to make him even more of a babyface when he wins it.
Oh, God, yeah, it totally will.
Are you taking?
Now, I'm taking Black because the reason I'm taking Black is that Gargano, due to whatever this, hey, I'm going to be a dark character thing going on, he just keeps making dumb mistakes.
Yeah.
And
going too far.
Yeah, and Black is going to catch him and give him the black mass, and it's just going to be over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a surprise ending. Like, Gargano's going to go for something and miss. And it's that moment that Tommy Black is just going to seize it and win.
I think it's going to be a super kick miss and Black then into a black mass.
Gargano goes for the super kick to a quote-unquote stunned Black. But Black isn't actually stunned. He's just waiting for the moment and just spins it into the black mass. Like, dodges.
Oh, no, like he's no, like I see Gangaro going, Black like either ducking, moving, or start to spin so the kick goes right past him.
Yeah.
And comes back around with a black mass.
Exact, like that exact moment.
So,
and just like Gargano's going to be like, oh, I screwed up again.
Yep. Okay,
anyway,
so save number 3
on
the list. Let's go to the women's. Yeah, number 4.
Okay.
Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Women's Championship against Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls.
What the hell is... Okay, thank you, NXT, for giving us these matches. Because I'm hoping that over the next 5 years, you're going to start seeing this up on the main roster. And I'm just like, oh, I can't wait for this.
See, this is one of the 2 matches that I could spend hours and hours picking either one of them.
And defending both of them.
Yeah. We don't have hours and hours to do that.
No, we don't.
Especially since we have another show to do to predict for. So I'm going to quickly go through the reasons why you could pick either one really quickly. Baszler, she just won it, obviously. Yes. So it could be too soon to take it off her. And she's the first 2-time NXT Women's Champion. Well, last time we got the first time 2-time champion with like NXT Championship was Joe. He lost like 2 weeks later. And then Nakamura, who became a 2-time, lost it a month later. So there's a good reason. Also, she's part of a stable now with her MMA four horsewomen, minus Ronda
Yes.
down there. So there's another. So again, that'd be another a reason not to drop the belt to her. But again, they seem, if you watch NXT, and I was watching some of the predictions from Wrestle Talk.
Oh, you're checking out other
out.
people's predictions now.
I wanted to see what they say about NXT because I don't care about the main roster predictions. Because that was 24-minute video, and their main roster predictions are usually like an hour. Don't care.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I watched that one, and they were kind of pointing out that a lot of the people they're setting up for potential feuds for the title are heels. So it's a possibility they could go back to Kairi Sane as champion. But at the same time, no one's a bigger heel than Baszler right now.
Right.
And one of the people, Bianca Belair, is more of that mid-gray. She doesn't cheat
Not
to
a true
win,
tweener,
but she's
but,
also aggressive.
Kind of a gray area.
Yeah. So she doesn't get in the fans' face to get them to boo her, but she also doesn't cater to them. So she could face any one of them. But I'm gonna go with the safe bet here. I'm probably gonna regret this in the end. Baszler's retaining.
All right. This I am actually going with Sane.
You are gonna go with Sane.
Oh, I'm going with Sane on this one.
You know the funny thing is,
the reason I'm saying this is
2 weeks ago you were saying
they are
going to
make her
Baszler
the two-time.
retain. Yeah.
What?
You said you picked Baszler to capture it, and you were saying no, they won't drop it onto Kairi Sane if they do her a rematch. Now you're changing your mind.
Yep, I got to change my mind. This does happen. It's okay.
Oh yeah. Also, if you agreed with me, it'd be 3 matches that we agreed on.
Yeah, exactly. I can't fully allow 3 straight matches. All right. You want to do the big one?
Yes, let's do the big one. Because we'll still predict the 5th one that we have on there, but we'll do the official card first.
Okay.
So we have the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong not defending, but going against Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders of Hansen and Rowe of the War Raiders.
All right.
In War Games. And this is going to be a more traditional War Games. Where last year we had 3 teams of 3. This one will actually have 2 teams of 4. And the Undisputed Era has the advantage going in.
Wait, how do they have advantage?
I'm assuming they're going back to the traditional rules of one person enters at a time. Versus last year it was the rest of the team going in.
Oh yeah, because it was like a single person with a tag team. That's how they kind of made all those teams.
Yeah, because what they did, they had Roderick Strong and AOP together. They had Undisputed Era, which was a 3-man team at the time, and we had Sanity. So 3 people started off in the match, 1 from each team, and then randomly the shark cages would open, and the whole team, the remaining 2, would come in and into the match. Whereas traditional War Games, it was 1 person at a time alternate. So if they're doing that, that's how you get the advantage. Undisputed Era will always have an advantage until all people are in. Or if they're going to do the entire team, that's how they do the entire team. But I don't think they're going to do that.
Okay.
You have 2 people starting, and then you have 3 more coming in. That's too many.
Or they could do 1 person starts in, then the tag team comes in, then the 4th member comes in.
Yeah, that's true.
So who are you going?
Picking?
You're going with Undisputed Era?
No, I was asking you who you were picking first.
Well, see, I'm going with Ricochet. I don't care who's on his team. I'm going with Ricochet on this one because the dude's going to be Spider-Manning off from everything, and he's going to do a double backflip over the middle ropes.
Oh, no doubt. I'm expecting a 6:30 off the top of the cage.
There we go.
See, I'm have a feeling it's going to be the faces winning this one, but at the same time, I could also see Undisputed Era capturing it again.
Okay.
They kinda
Yeah, I can
need
see
a
them winning
win.
too.
I kind of think that Undisputed Era needs a win here too. I'm gonna go with the heels.
You're going to go
I'm
with
going
the
Undisputed
Undisputed Era.
Yeah. Definitely
All right,
gotta go. I'm gonna go with the
we are
Undisputed Era.
disagreeing on two of them now.
Yes. So we're gonna be if everything holds true, we will be drawing. So we have a fifth match that we're gonna
Yes.
be predicting because they're gonna be doing a pre-taping for NXT for Wednesday before NXT Takeover goes live because next week is Thanksgiving, so they cannot do their TV tapings like they normally do. And generally, they still do a extra match somewhere and record it at a takeover. So they have when they do their tapings the following week, they still have a full week of turnaround. And they don't have to rush to get it done. So the
Right.
match that we know of that's going to be airing on Wednesday is Matt Riddle taking on Cassius Ohno. And so this will be our tiebreaker if we tie.
Right.
If we
right.
don't tie, it does not affect our percentages.
I mean, also you
only
can go
using it to-
4 and I can go 1. I can go. You can get 4 right, and I'll only get 1 right. Or a
Yes.
couple right.
It's only we're predicting it just for the fun of it. So we have 5 matches because we usually have 5 anyway for takeovers. But it only counts towards our win if we have to use it for the tie.
Okay.
And Matt Riddle,
You're going with Riddle?
yes,
Here's the thing, because he's the new up-and-comer, and he's had a pretty solid outing so far, I'm going to say that, yes, Matt Riddle as well.
okay.
Like, I feel that he can take, that Ono can take the loss from him, and it won't hurt Ono to the point of being buried.
Well, Ono has basically been handled to get the new guy over role in
Yeah.
NXT. So,
All right.
and
So those are our
apparently Ono
NXT predictions.
Yeah, apparently Ono is a very well-rounded wrestler, which I've heard from a lot of people. I will be honest, I've not seen that in NXT in any way, shape, or form. He's good. Like, I've never seen him to the level people say he's at. So, they don't really have many plans to use him, I don't think,
Okay.
overall.
All right.
But, who knows? Let's move on to Survivor Series.
Let's move on to Survivor Series. Okay.
Let's start
We're
with
going
the
to work
pre-show.
from 8 up.
Start with 7 and then go to 8.
Okay, all right. So we've got the Raw versus Team SmackDown Tag Team Division. Tim, you got all the names in front of you. Who's in there?
So we got, for Team Raw, we have Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, who are the team captains. With the Revival, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. Team B, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel. Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kalisto, and or with Grand Metallica. And the Ascension.
That's a lot of people.
Connor and Victor versus Team SmackDown. I'm guessing the Usos are the captains, Jay and Jimmy Uso, with the New Day with Big E, Kofi Kingston, and or Xavier Woods, with Sanity, Alexander Wolf, Eric Young, and or Killian Dane. The Good Brothers. Thank God it does not say that on here, though. I guarantee they'll call them on commentary. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
The Club.
And the Colognes.
Wait, the Colognes
No one
exist?
cares about the Colognes.
I thought
I know,
they had
they're
been
alive.
fired.
No one cares about them. I'm not even going to give them announce their names. And pretty much this, I don't care who wins this.
I mean, these matchups I don't really care about. It's more like, okay, are you gonna choose Team Raw or Team SmackDown? How is it gonna play out tonight? You know what? I'm going SmackDown on this one.
You are?
Colognes are gonna be the difference makers.
Wow.
All right, I'm going SmackDown.
I was thinking the same thing because I think you have bigger names on the SmackDown team. We have jobbers of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel on Raw. You got cruiserweights in there.
Yep.
But I'm going to, in the extension, we're jobbers pretty much at this. But you know what? For the hell of it, I'm going to go with Raw.
You're gonna go with Raw on this one.
You know why? Because for some reason I could just see them going like, you know what? Everyone's going to look at the Raw Tag Team Division members and be like, oh, they're not going to win because they have so many jobbers on there. And then the Team B will like pull off the victory.
Exactly. All right. Next up, we've got Buddy Murphy defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Mustafa Ali. Tim, who you got?
First off, I just want to point out that notice how we did not say on the pre-show.
No, this is main card.
Yeah, apparently, according to Wikipedia, this is on the main card, which is rare because usually, if you have a Cruiserweight title match on one of these big 5 pay-per-views, it's on the pre-show.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good sign. I think I like that, though. I think it's a good thing. I'm going to go with the champion retaining.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do. Personally, I'm saying that Mustafa Ali is going to capture the championship.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that's purely a gut feeling. I have nothing else to defend this.
I don't think he's going to win it because Buddy Murphy just won the title at Crown Jewel. I'm sorry. Name redacted.
Name redacted. Show that didn't actually happen to us.
Yes. So I think it's a little too early for them to change the title. I don't think Buddy Murphy doesn't need a long title range.
But it should be longer than this.
Yes.
Okay.
But all right, next one up, we're gonna do the tag team champions of SmackDown and Raw facing off against each other. I like this matchup. Because we have the AOP are the Raw tag team champions.
Yeah,
And
they're
we
being
have
used.
Debar with the Big Show.
Yeah.
And and by the way, the AOP have Drake Maverick.
I
had to steal that from
You
Ali.
purely did that because I get to watch it in video.
Yes. And I had to steal it from Ollie Davis from Wrestle Talk.
All right. Well, personally, I'm going with
AOP.
Debar because I like Debar.
So do I. But I think AOP needs, even though they won the tag titles, which helped boost them big time.
Yes.
They need a big win here, be taken seriously. So do the Bar. They need a win here, but at the same time, Sheamus and Cesaro, they can take this loss and not hurt them that much.
Exactly.
But I'm going with the Raw champions.
Okay.
You know what's weird? So far, I'm 2 for 2 of my picks are for Raw.
Yeah, so far. Maybe you're going to be a Raw person tonight.
I don't want to be.
That came out wrong. You know what? We're just going to let that go. Okay, next up, we've got the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown Women's Division.
Yes.
Who's on the teams?
First, we'll go to the teams up with the Team Raw. It's Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya, and Ruby Riott with Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan on the outside, and Alexa Bliss is the team captain.
Okay.
And Alexa on my Kindle just talked again.
How's it going, Alexa?
And versus Team SmackDown with Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and To Be Determined.
See, I like when I hear to be determined. That's a good sign. I like that.
Yeah. Man, To Be Determined is busy this last few months.
I know. Do you want to, what? It was a
Over
show
on
for
Impact,
Ring of Honor?
Bound for Glory. Yeah, Ring for Honor. Now they're on making their WWE debut. Man,
I know. It's a big year for them.
So we do not know who the final member of Team SmackDown will be. We do know who it will not be because there's a bit of rumor out there.
Who
it will not
won't it be?
Paige. It will not be Paige. Because some people seem to think that it was going to be her because she got cleared. Paige has come out and made it clear that if she takes one more impact to her spine, it could lead to paralysis.
I know.
And we do not want that of her.
Nobody wants that. And if you do want that, there's something wrong with you.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to for her the movie about her life, Wrestling in the Family movie.
Yes.
I saw the trailer. It looks awesome.
Oh, cool.
If you haven't watched it, check it out. You actually get to see how they're going to portray this. And let's be very clear, it's a very glorified version of WWE. You're not going to get any criticism about WWE in it, partly because WWE is producing it, but also The Rock's producing it. But it does look good. And you do get to see Selena Vega. You get to see Selena Vega in the trailer playing AJ Lee.
Oh, that's cool. All right. So, do you have Raw or SmackDown? Come on, Tim.
Let's pick. Let's just throw out who we randomly might think will fill in the final spot for SmackDown first.
Becky Lynch.
No.
Damn it.
That would be funny if Becky Lynch came out and helped SmackDown win, but she actually didn't get physical in any way.
No.
But the rumor is it's going to be Mandy Rose.
Okay.
Which I think would be great because part of the storyline was that Paige didn't pick her, but she picks Sonya Deville and to be on the team. So I think that would be a great way to put her on the team because this was where Charlotte was supposed to be on the show before she got switched over. So I think this would be a good spot to put Mandy there and then have her be the one who gets the win for Team SmackDown. Because it would then show oh, you didn't want me on here. She can then say, I won it for us, and Paige, you didn't want me on the team, causing more conflict and pushing her. Actually, giving them a storyline since, Paige basically had to retire this time soon after this.
I like it. I like it.
But I am going to go with Team SmackDown on this one.
Okay.
This is the one where I think SmackDown needs this win. Asuka needs the win.
Well,
Naomi could use the win. Sonya Deville could use a win. If Mandy Rose is the final one, she could use the win. Carmella, I don't care if she gets a win.
Really? You're just don't care. Don't care at all.
No. So, but
for me, I'm going with SmackDown because I actually looking at the roster of Team Raw, it's really dysfunctional. It's going to break down and destroy itself.
Also, with Nia on Raw, yeah, I think that they may, if the heat is true, they may, she may be the first one out also.
Probably.
And that could also be part of the whole, just use the heat and decide Raw loses.
Yes.
But
well, I also see you've got Natalia and Ruby Riott on there, they'll be at each other's throats.
Oh yeah, yep.
Um,
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sasha and Bailey should make an appearance as well,
yep.
because you could then have those guys fight the Riot Squad, lead to them getting counted out
Yeah, exactly.
or something like that. You could do a lot. There's so much you could do here, for that. But yeah, it's okay. So we agree on this one. We actually agree on one.
I know. It's kind of crazy.
You actually are sticking with SmackDown. I have betrayed the Raw and come over to SmackDown for a match.
Oh, that Big Blue all day, baby. Big Blue all day.
Yep.
All right, next up we've got
We'll see.
Team Raw versus Team SmackDown men's division. Who's in on each team, Tim?
So on Team Raw, we have Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley, with Baron Corbin and Leo Rush on the outside, with Baron Corbin being the team lead. And then you have Team SmackDown with The Miz, who is the team captain, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy.
Ooh,
This one's a tough one because
that's
Joe
balance.
needs to win here.
Yeah,
Joe needs a win here big time, but so does Finn.
exactly.
So those two those two cancel each other out. Like it needs wins. My deciding factor is going to be Team Raw, because of Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
They're pushing him hard, so I was feeling that they're going to give him the win. Though at the same time, I could see Strowman being the one that just says fuck it and just destroys his own team. But here's the thing: storyline says that because Braun wanted his rematch for the Universal title, and he wanted Strowman. I mean, he wanted Corbin first. Stephanie said he'll get anything he wants if he helps him win.
So yeah,
That's another thing. I mean, they can always do some rewrites to how he tricks his way or just destroys everything on Raw until he gets what he wants. Putting him over as a babyface. But I'm going to go with Raw.
okay.
I think this is the
So-
better choice.
So I was gonna go with Team SmackDown because they have the best wrestler in the world on their team,
Yeah.
Captain
Shane
McSweaty
McMahon.
Pants, the 40-year-old dad. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, I'm looking at. See, the problem is you also have on that team Ray, Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe, who are all
Yep.
very, very competent. But you're going to have Shane doing McMahon-style things and trying to boss everyone around and or
Yep.
trying to get back in just to get the eliminations. That
So
he's
here's-
going to break the team down.
Well, not just that. With the rumor of the original plans for Daniel Bryan was to face Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, with Shane being a heel and Bryan being the babyface. Obviously changed that because Bryan's now a heel, winning the WWE Championship. I hope they don't scrap that Shane's heel turn, because here's what I think they could do. You can continue the heel turn,
Yeah.
repairing Bryan and Shane back up from last year when Bryan was the general manager and Shane was commissioner. Shane is still commissioner, obviously, but all you do is you change the story now. Shane's still going to turn heel, but who is he turn heel on? The Miz.
Wow.
And Miz is the captain, so this would be a great way to start building towards that angle of, maybe Shane causes Miz to get eliminated, and then that can start building that. The one thing I
All
don't
right.
want to see is Shane be the final elimination like he was last year.
Yeah, no, not this time. You know what I wouldn't mind seeing? And this is just me being me. This is the start of a build between The Miz and Daniel Bryan having their match at WrestleMania.
Yep.
The best part of it, Daniel Bryan goes in as the heel, Miz, simply by being less heelish than Daniel Bryan, goes in as the face into that match. But it
Yep.
starts here because it'll be Shane who backstabs the Miz, eliminating the Miz from the match, and the Miz is just gonna be like, "That's my move. What are you doing? That's what I do."
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And
who are
it's
you
a slow. It'll be a slow, like, it won't be a true. Suddenly, the Miz is a good guy. It'll just be like, wow, these people are being worse than me. Like, because this is stuff I do, I have to call you out on it. Like, stop stealing my gimmick, man.
No, see, I just want what the Miz has been doing for like the last year or so. And it's just basically rubbing people's face when he's right, and like he did it on Twitter. He's like, I've been telling you guys about Daniel Bryan this entire time, and I was right.
See, I'm
So
right.
what you can do is, don't change anything that the Miz is doing. Just have him go against heels, and keep doing that. And the fans are behind the Miz still. Yes, he's been booed because his feud with Daniel Bryan, but the fans still are behind the Miz. You just keep him what he's doing, and you just make him focus on heels and do the same promos that he would normally do, just against them, and have them be more heelish than he is, and you have a babyface Miz, who will get over.
Like, and it's really not a baby face. He's just he's less heel.
Well, see, I would look at this way. You just it's basically doing what you did with The Rock. The Rock was always a heel. He got cheered. Yes, The Rock would do some babyface stuff, but almost everything he did was still heelish.
Yeah.
So you just do the same thing with The Miz. He is technically a heel, but he's over the fans, getting the cheers because of how he addresses bigger heels.
Right.
You do make a few tweaks so that he'll get a little bit more pops here, specific ways, but for the most part, he just do the same thing he's already doing.
Yeah. All right. So. Next up, we've got the Universal Champion.
You didn't say who you were picking.
What?
Who'd you pick? What team?
Oh, I'm going with Team Raw. Sorry.
Okay.
Oops. All right. So next up, we have the Universal Champion versus the WWE Champion. It's Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. Tim, who you got?
I'm going to go with Brock on this one because I have a feeling, because AJ's nowhere on this card, this is where we're going to see him.
Okay.
In some way. I don't know.
Oh, but, you know what I would like to see is an AJ attack on Bryan.
Yeah.
You know, one of those that it's like just before the match starts, and it's just a low blow. And he just like comes up and he's just like, you know, one of those good luck guy, and then just kicks him. And you're just like, there you go. Shows that AJ still is a bit of a heel, but he's doing it in a way that's fair. He's like, no, before I defended my belt, you hit me with a low blow. Or during it. You won it by getting this. Well, now go out against one of the biggest guys with it as well.
See, one of the things also I'd like here by Brock winning with AJ's interference on Bryan is it furthers that feud. We get AJ on the show, and with Shane possibly turning heel, this can be a way to further Shane turning heel, kind of reigniting his feud with AJ from a few years ago, and saying, you cost us the match against Brock. And then you can kind of have that, like, I'm taking your rematch against Daniel Bryan away now. And you can, like, oh, no. I had this contract.
And then you can start up a new feud between Shane and AJ.
Yep.
Pushing further the Shane heel turn as well.
Yeah, there's so much you could do that way. So, I'm going with Brock Lesnar.
I'm going Brock Lesnar as well. It's going to be I feel that the match is going to be a lot like it was last year, where it'll be Daniel Bryan trying to keep Brock Lesnar tied up as much as possible, and or striking and moving. He's just going to be trying to stay out of Brock's hands.
Yeah.
And then it will be very late. Brock's finally going to get his hands on Daniel, hit him with one F5, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah. Okay, so
I mean, there's going to be
Brock.
strikes before that. Yeah, I'm going with Brock. They still have to build him as a monster, or book him as a monster.
The next matchup here, we have Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the U.S. Champion. Match. And what do you know? Nakamura actually gets a pay-per-view match. I'm going with Shinsuke on this one because, well, I'm not sure AJ will actually interfere in the Universal title match and Daniel Bryan's match.
Yeah.
It's almost obvious that Dean Ambrose is going to get involved in this matchup.
Oh, he's going to.
So I'm going with Shinsuke. And
Same
also,
here.
Shinsuke needs the win. Shinsuke needs a big win.
Yes, he does.
So, all right, the final match and the rumored main event.
Yes.
Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, versus Charlotte Flair, representing SmackDown. And yeah, the rumor was that Becky and Ronda were going to close the show out beforehand, but it looks like this could be the one. It's still a big matchup because they were possibly going to be main eventing WrestleMania before this.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm going to throw it to you, Adam.
Okay.
What are you going to pick?
Well, I am choosing Ronda in this situation. And here's why.
Okay.
Ronda is still your big women's division ticket seller. Not saying that she's the best in the division. She's the ticket seller.
Yes, she is.
And because Becky was pulled from this match so last minute, and it was a very... I think because of the events of Evolution, they were able to spin this background story between Ronda and Becky that built to this being a actual high profile match. Like it purely like it's had time to breathe and go, no, this feels like, there was these matches, and then, the way it kind of always felt organic back a number of years ago. Maybe it was just me not noticing things, but it felt like this was the next organic step of Becky versus Ronda at Survivor Series for both of them after what went down at Evolution.
Well, I mean, I don't think it naturally felt that way, but
I felt like
how
there was
things laid.
This is where we were, not necessarily where, but we were finally going to see the match between the two of them.
I didn't feel that way in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, they did a very good job of making it seem that way. One, we all knew what the match of the night was going to be. It was going to be Charlotte and Becky. It was. And they didn't main event. Ronda wins in the main event, defending her Raw's title against Nikki Bella. Ironically, nowhere to be seen now. So yes, that kind of there. What helped hype this match up in the short amount of time they had was Becky and Ronda's Twitter exchange over the last few weeks. And that is how they made this thing. And I think, because I don't think it was, I think they were throwing around the idea of it being the main event, but they weren't really sure about it until after they saw how quickly the two women were able to build anticipation for the match in such a short time. They're like, oh no, we need to take advantage of this. And then now that it's happening, that Becky can't be there, they're still like, okay, no, we can still throw Charlotte in there because it will still be a good match.
Right.
Here's what I'm going to do. This is why I'm picking Ronda, because I'm picking Ronda myself.
Okay.
First, Ronda cannot lose her first big real challenge. It just cannot happen. It will hurt her too much.
Okay.
So she has to win for that reason. Second, even if the rumors are wrong and they still decide to go with Charlotte and Ronda at WrestleMania again, and you want to put it on Charlotte, this will then help Charlotte in the long run because she lost the first time to her, and she learned from it and had to fight for it.
Okay.
So make it a little interesting storyline. But more importantly, I hope I'm wrong. That one part's wrong, and that they really are going to save Becky Lynch and Ronda for WrestleMania main event, and Becky's the one who finally defeats Ronda, giving her first loss.
Yes.
Because there's rumors that Ronda's only around for a year.
Oh.
So, I mean, I think what they may do is like they only for a year, then maybe for bigger matches, like when they're ready to do the 4 horsewomen match, she'll come back. But there's rumors that she will be done sometime because she wants to start a family with her husband.
Right.
Because they're raising his kids from his previous marriage, but she wants to have kids too. So who knows? But like, I think that would be the better way to do it. But yeah, Becky Lynch and Ronda in this such a short time became a staple match.
Yeah.
Imagine what you can do with it when you build to WrestleMania.
I know. You have now what?
So,
after this, you have December, January, February, and March. You got 4 months to plan this.
Yeah. And now, if they're going to do that, put Becky Lynch in the main event with Ronda, it's got to be for the Raw Women's Championship, which means, yes, Becky has to drop the belt, which I'm fine with, because what you do is she drops the belt in December, she wins the Women's Royal Rumble in January, and picks Ronda for WrestleMania.
Right.
So, that kind of build. That's what I think would be good. Anything else?
All right. Well, no, those are our predictions. Hopefully, I win a lot more than... I get more right than I get wrong, and more right than you did. That way I can actually take the lead, and have 3 wins in a row, or 4. I don't know.
Yeah. As much as I would like to see actually have some competition, because I've been destroying you this year for the most part.
I mean, last year was even worse, okay? At one point, you were destroying me. But I've done much better in the last couple of weeks. The last couple of pay-per-views.
Yes, you have. And I'm still leading you. So it's like, it would be nice to have a challenge going into WrestleMania season, but I had to make up a win or two. But at the same time, I don't want to lose again. Because I've lost the last last 3 or something like that. Or was the last 2?
Last two.
So, I don't mind losing. Like, if I win like Takeover, but then you win Survivor Series, I'd be fine with that. But I can't have you have 4 actual pay-per-view predictions in a row.
All right, ladies
happen.
and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out the show this week.
Yeah.
Tim, what do they have to do to get more content like this?
More content? First off, they need to comment down below and let us know what they think of our predictions.
Okay.
And they need to tell us their predictions.
Okay.
And if you want more content like this, tell us, do you want more content like this by going over, giving us a thumbs up, first off.
Yes.
And since it's right there, hit the subscribe button.
Ding.
Ring the bell.
Ding, ding.
And what's the tagline this week?
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.